All right, hey guys, good afternoon. Happy Easter to everyone that's out there. I thought I'd do a little live here before we all kind of get into the festivities. You know, we've had our mornings and the kids and all the fun stuff. We're seeing some snow coming down now on the ground on this Easter weekend, which is amazing to me. I'm down here in my little cave I like to hide out in. My wife always teases me it's my little den. It's kind of my place where I get to go and think and read and do stuff. So I wanted to share something with you. And I thought this was important because I like to share things that have a personal spin on it. You know, something that applies to me, applies to you, I hope applies to everyone. And it's one of the reasons why I do healthcare. It's one of the reasons why I focus on it so heavily. It's one of the reasons why I think that our system needs a radical overhaul, a dramatic change, a dramatic overhaul and shift. And here's why. So for all of you that know me and have seen my posts and stuff over the last several years, you know, I'm pretty active, right? I like to be involved in things. I'm always doing martial arts and stuff like that. I've been doing it for 35 years or more now. I've had a tremendous a lot of success and fun at that. But you get injured. Every now and then you get injured, you know, and I see a lot of people and I can help people with a lot of things, but there are some things that have eluded me. One of them, an inguinal hernia. Ugh, it's a bear. And so I acquired one of these about 3 years ago training in jiu-jitsu. And as I was doing the jiu-jitsu work, I kind of felt a little bit, didn't bother me a whole lot. It got a little bit worse as I did more of it, so I backed off of that art. I quit doing it, and I still had that little hernia down in the groin area there. So I decided recently, you know what, it's time. It's time to get it fixed. It's time to get into there. And I thought, man, I don't want to go into that system, right? I want to try and avoid it as long as I can. But I decided, you know what, I'm going to do it. So I reached out to a doc here in town through one of the groups here. I don't want to name anybody if I can help it. But I reached out to a doc. Fantastic guy. Excellent physician. Walked me through the system, told me what I had to do, recommended surgery for it because I don't know of any other way to deal with it. There are no natural ways that we know of, and there's no real rehab. It has to be surgically repaired. So I'm like, okay, cool, no problem with that. Well, he punted me over to a general surgeon to look at this. I met with the general surgeon, another fantastic individual here in town. I couldn't have had a better, I guess, response and result and experience than dealing with these two gentlemen. And I was thrilled. I thought, this is great, you know. So I told my wife, I said, hey, look, we gotta have a surgery on this. She was a little nervous about it. And I said, let's try and schedule it here. Call back and let's get it scheduled. So she did. Now, this is why I'm doing this live today. And I brought this up on the radio this past weekend, if you guys had a chance to hear our show or our podcast. But it really bothered me. Because what happened was my experience with them was so good and so positive, I was thrilled about it. But then my wife called back and got a hold of them and got into the bureaucracy of it all, right? The non-people concept. Now you're getting into the money and things of that nature. And she just said, you know what? We want to schedule him for a surgery. We know there's going to be some downtime. What's it cost? Can you give me a general idea that what we're looking at? You know, because I do a lot out of pocket. I do a lot of things, you know, that are my own expense. I carry a high deductible. She just wanted to prepare for it. What's it generally cost? And on the other side of the fence, all of a sudden, crickets. Nothing. And like, well, man, we don't know. And she goes, so we're coming in for a surgery, but you don't know what it's going to cost? And so my wife just asked some more questions. She said, okay, well, can you give me a general idea? I mean, you guys do hundreds of these all the time. What do they generally run? Well, we're not allowed to give out that information. You'll have to go to your insurance company for that. And so my wife said, well, how's my insurance company going to know ahead of time what you're going to charge me for something you can't divulge to me? Do you see a problem with this? So we got a little further into it, started asking more questions. And the more questions she'd ask, the more she got into it, and the more she'd sit there and say, well, you know, okay, I understand there's unexpecteds. I understand there's things that we don't plan for. I totally understand this, and it makes sense. We just want a ballpark general idea. If I'm going onto a car lot and I'm going to buy a vehicle, I understand there's upgrades. I understand there's all these things and prices negotiable, right? But you're not even telling me a general ballpark idea. Am I going in for a $3,000 surgery, a $10,000 surgery, a $100,000 surgery? Well, we're not allowed to divulge that. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so my wife's telling me this at dinner the other night. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, are you seriously kidding me? And I understand there's a lot of variables, but you should be able to at least be transparent enough where you can give someone some general information about the surgery you're recommending to them. Mr. McCaffrey, hey, look, this surgery normally runs around $5,000. There are exceptions, of course. We don't know what we're going to find when we get in there. There could be pathology. There could be all these things that we have to do more work. I'm okay with that. I accept that. What I don't accept is, yeah, no, sorry, we're not telling you squat, and you got to have it done. Call your insurance. So we did. Call up the insurance, right? Of course, I don't know how they're going to do it. Are they going to pull a rabbit out of a hat on Easter and say, oh, look, that surgery magically cost blah? Because they don't know what's being done either, no more than I do. So they get in there, and we call the insurance. And what do you get? There's a 30-minute hold line that you're instructed at the end of your 30 minutes, if you've not been picked up or talked to, you'll be dropped. You can leave a message, and they'll get back to you when they're ready. And I thought, all right, so I'm paying you guys $20,000 a year for insurance, and I'm looking at this thing, and I can't talk to anybody, and I get put on a hold line, but it cuts me off after I've waited 30 minutes. That's the max you can wait. They won't let you go beyond that. They just disconnect. And I'm thinking to myself, are you kidding me? Guys, this is the problem with our current healthcare system. It is a $4 trillion a year industry. Right? You look at that, you think, man, that's a lot of money. It is almost 18% of our gross domestic product. It is almost 20% of our entire economy. It is a huge piece of what we do in our life every day. And to get into that machine and have it be like, yeah, no, we're blank check. Sorry, that's how this works. You give us the blank check. We'll tell you what it's going to be when we're all said and done, and that's how it is. Call your insurance, who doesn't know anything. It's like a shell game almost. And I feel bad for the two physicians that I worked with because these guys were fantastic. My experience couldn't have been any better. I was thrilled to be involved with this. And then I think back to myself. And I think back to what I do in practice and what I do with my patients. Guys, transparency is an absolute must, right? You got to be transparent. You got to let people know. If I go to get a filling, my dentist is going to tell me, look, I charge $150 for fillings. There could be some exceptions. Something may go wrong. That's what a filling is. If I go to my eye doctor and they go in there and say, hey, Mr. Smith, your glasses are going to cost you X number of dollars and the exam's going to be this, there could always be an exception to the rule. I'm okay with that. I have no problem. But the problem I have is when you get into a system that is a $4 trillion industry and currently ranks 42nd in the world for healthcare. We are buying a Pacer and paying for a Ferrari. It doesn't make any sense. And you look at this model and you look at why things are broken and why everyone is so disgruntled and upset. It's obvious. So I'm telling you, let's do something different. Let's choose a different option. Right? I've been talking to good friends of mine. I've been on Facebook with you guys. I'm now years into this. I'm 18 years into radio. You can catch me every Wednesday morning on Fox. Why? Because we're trying to help people understand, look, man, there's another way. We got to find another way. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to learn how to take care of ourselves. There are always exceptions to the rule, and we have a fantastic medical system for that. We're great at acute care, trauma, and saving lives. We are dismal at chronic degenerative conditions. Things that tear you down slowly over time. You've got to hunt for the cause. And it's not always easy. It's not always easy to find. And sometimes you got to keep checking and checking and checking. And sometimes, most of the time, you want to work with the other side of the fence. You want to work as a team for the patient so they get the best out of it. The quickest rehab, the best results, the best overall health for someone. I always tell my patients I'm questing for perfect health. That's what I want everyone to get. Perfect health. Guys, if you're perfectly healthy, there's nothing wrong. That's what you should always strive for, knowing that you may never achieve it. You may never achieve it. I tell my little boy all the time, I'm super proud of my kid, and we all are, right, of our children, but I'm super proud of my little boy because I tell him, look, man, you do the best you can do, and you always try to improve on yourself. Don't worry about anybody else. Work on yourself. And if you do that, you'll be the best you that you can be. Right? Why would it be any different? He knows he'll never achieve perfect. He knows he can't. Nobody can, right? There's only been one person that's ever done it. So we look at that and we think to ourselves, man, Easter Sunday is a pretty good day to talk about that. We have one person that's achieved perfection. The rest of us try to, and we strive to, and we make mistakes, and we stumble, and we fall, and we do all these things. But in the end, we gave it our all. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to revolutionize healthcare because of things like this. I'm personally involved in this one. I love what the doctor did for me. I love the consultation I had. I liked how they presented it. I liked how they gave me my options and told me what could happen, how they took and said, man, these are 3 things we got to look out for. We're going to do number 1, because if we do that one, it most likely will take care of 2 and 3. If it doesn't, we'll come back and do 2. If that doesn't, we'll come back and do 3. That's how it is. I'm okay with that. I like that. But to tell me when I call you and say, hey, I'm just trying to plan for this. Right? Money's not endless. I don't have it fanning all over the place. I'm just trying to plan for this. What's it going to cost me? Well, we're not allowed to divulge that. We're not allowed to tell you that. And these aren't the doctors doing this. I feel sorry for them. This is their model. This is their system. They're on the front end doing all the grunt work. This is on the back end collecting all the money. And you look at that and you think to yourself, man, there's got to be a different way. It's got to be a different way, guys. And maybe it's transparency. Maybe it's telling people, look, this is what we charge for certain things, with the exceptions. But to not have that, to not see that, is one reason why I think we need to stay out of that. That's why I'm telling you, we are revolutionizing healthcare. We're changing it, right? We're questing for perfect health, helping people learn to take their healthcare back. That's what I do. I position myself as a Robin Hood of healthcare. That's why. So make sure you like this, you share it, get it out there to your friends, your family, guys, be part of something. We're going to do this, and I'm excited. I'm super excited about this. So have a great, happy Easter, and make sure you keep all your comments coming in. I love them. Our mail bags, all the great things that we're doing, get it into us, okay? Take care, guys, and happy Easter. Bye-bye.